Hello and welcome to another Boom Beach video. In this one we're going to be going over Headquarters level 13, in which we didn't unlock anything new, so the tier list once again is probably going to be pretty similar to the last one. Starting off, we're going to have tanks up to S++. Once again, I pretty much solely use tanks the entire Headquarters level. They're just so effective, and then as well as I believe this one you can get 2 tanks in your landing crafts, which makes them just so much better. Obviously you have to watch out for the 4 gunboat energy to launch each landing craft. However, they're just so strong. The next up is going to be heavies and Zookas. It's still a great combo at this Headquarters level because unlike the tanks, they're free to launch off your landing crafts. So you have a lot of gunboat ability usage you can have. However, they're just not nearly as strong as tanks because tanks, their strongest thing about tanks is how they outrange everything. So heavies just don't have that outraging capability. Riflemen, we're going to put Riflemen at the B tier because, yes, Riflemen are still pretty good against single-player bases, like the AI bases, when tanks can't take them out. Say if it's like a bunch of boom cannons, Riflemen are good there, but multiplayer bases, Riflemen have become almost pretty much useless, kind of. Not really, but pretty close to it. We're going to put Warriors at C tier. They're really bad, but however, in Headquarters level 14, so aka the next one, we're going to be unlocking Smoke, which is going to become very, very useful with Warriors, and Warriors will now jump up the list. Artillery, obviously S++, with Barrage up to, I'm going to say S tier. Barrage isn't as good as Artillery, and I feel like the gap between the two is just kind of widening. However, in upcoming Headquarters level, we might have more gunboat energy, so we can maybe put this back up to S+. But for right now, we're just going to keep it at S tier. The Shock Bomb will put at S+, especially with tanks. If you need to knock out like a boom cannon or a couple of cannons, it's obviously very useful. For me, I'm going to put this up to B tier. When using the tanks, Medkit's just not nearly as strong as it needs to be, and with Dr. Cave-In combined with the Crystal Critters, the Medkit is just way down the list. The Resurrection ability we'll put at A tier. When using it with tanks, the Resurrection ability is actually quite good. And same with this thing, if we're going up against a boom cannon early, if we want to switch off Crystal Critters, we can use this ability, and it works out very well. Sergeant Brick, we'll go ahead and put her at S tier. We'll put Battle Orders at D tier, her shield ability and her artillery ability at C tier. I'm going to be using solely tanks, like I've said 100 times, and the Battle Orders ability is not good with tanks. So we're going to have that at D tier. Once again, I probably didn't use Sergeant Brick by like twice this entire Headquarters level. And last but not least, the Flare we'll put at S tier. Flare is obviously really good no matter what Headquarters, it does its job at every Headquarters level of just moving your troops around, making sure you avoid things, and that's why it's going to be at S tier. Alright, now over to the base design. Now over to my base design for Headquarters level 13. I went with a very similar base design to my last one. However, we added another machine gun, so we kind of with like a 4 frontal assault, as well as we kept these things separated, and then it's basically the exact same thing with the rocket launcher in the back. The rocket launcher, as you can see, covers up pretty much the entire base, as well as I have my boom mines covering the flank, because obviously people aren't going to want to come to the front. People are smarter at this Headquarters level. However, these boom mines kind of are able to eliminate, hopefully, some of their frontal assault, as well as maybe a cannon shot, as well as the boom mine, can take out that first tank, or that first heavy, whatever it is that they're using. The base design is pretty well rounded. Obviously, people are going to try and flank you, but whether they go from the east side or the west side, they're going to try and flank you, but you're going to have no real help. The defenses in this game is really, really weak because of the heroes and stuff, so I wouldn't worry too much about your defense, but there's my base design. Sorry to be so negative, but on my offensive side of things, I went with, obviously, full boats of tanks, as well as Dr. Cave-In and Crystal Critters. These are my statues. I ended up going with a Masterpiece of Troop Health, just because it was better than, I guess, like 15% more on car insurance, if you know what I mean. And the next one, we're going to be unlocking Smoke, which is really good for Warriors, so maybe Warriors will finally go up in the troop tiers side of things. Alright, thanks for watching.